Jen here with my title page for 2017. So the other day I was playing around with some of my Prima watercolors. These are the tropical, it's the tropical set, and I was just playing around trying to see what the colors could do, and I really liked how it turned out. So I wrote my one little word for the year, which is focus, and I did some doodles. And then I thought maybe I would make that part of my title page. So the pocket that I'm using, or the page protector that I'm using, is it has a 6x8 pocket, and then it has four by 6 pockets. So I'm going to cut this piece into the 6x8 size. Sorry, I was just helping my son with his Lego. I think he comes back again. So I'm just cutting it down to make sure it fits nicely in the pocket. I had so much fun making this. I was just playing, but I think it turned out so pretty, so I'm pretty happy. And I never include pictures in my title pages. I think I've mentioned that before. I like to pick out cards that have sayings on it that I might not use elsewhere, um, or that maybe have something to do with my one little word, or beginning new year or whatever. So that's usually what I do. And then this year for Christmas, my client bought me some David's tea that had resolutions on it. So there were 12, I think 12 little individual teas, and each day you could pull the resolution off of the tea. And of course, they're sort of all tea related resolutions, but I thought that they were kind of fun. So I want to use those on the back of this page because I plan to make a little shaker pocket, and so I knew that I had to figure something out for the back so that I could seal it. So I decided on some tags that I have here, and then I have this watercolor resist tag. So I'm going to pull my watercolors back out. I was just filling up my pen there. That's why it looked so weird what I was doing, my brush. And now I'm just putting a dab of water in each pan so that it can start to soften. And I'm just going to paint a rainbow. Oh, and I got a tri palette, so I've been playing with that too. It's awesome. I love it for mixed media. So I'm just going down the rainbow, yellow, and then orange, and then red, and there you can start to see some of the relief that's in there, or the resist. And there's the magenta, and green. I realized I was sort of running out of space. And then blue down at the bottom. So there you can see the relief, or the resist. It's some dots, and it says, "Oh, happy day." So I'm just going to let that dry. And while I'm waiting for it to dry, I decided to pick up some of that paint that I had on the palette and do some splatters all over. So I'm just doing them sort of in rainbow. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just going to splatter that whole page. And then I'll let that dry too. And I still had so much paint on that palette, I didn't want to just wipe it off. So I have a couple other tags that were in my Rascog. That's what's right beside me there. And I decided to just dip them. Sorry, I'm doing it off camera, but I'm dipping parts of the tags. There you can see the hello into the different colors. So this one says wish. It actually turned out so nice, and it was totally unintentional. I was trying to just keep it into that magenta and the red, but I got a little bit of green in it, and so I let the pink and the green mix, and it turned this beautiful gray. So it was a happy accident. And then this one, I thought, there you can see. Can you see that beautiful gray? Oh, I love it. So for this one, I just went for it. I stuck it down and let it soak up whatever it could. Oh, my son's helping me. So it's got some green and some red and a little bit of orange, um, and blue, which kind of turned gray down at the bottom too. So they turned out pretty nice, and hopefully you'll see them on a project soon. So I'm just going to clean up my space, and those splatters that I did are pretty much dry. That's on just some cheap um, watercolor paper, so it soaked them up pretty quickly, and they're basically dry. So now I just have to decide where I want to put these tags. I think I got those at I think I got them at Michael's, and they have gold on them, so they're pretty. And then I'm gonna put that "Oh Happy Day" right in the middle of the two tags. And then all around it, I'm going to place the resolutions from the tea. So they were sort of in an ombre arrangement, and I just want to try and replicate that. And some of them were, pretty good resolutions. Things like take time to treat yourself. And I think the tea for that day was a hot chocolate tea. And then some of them were a little bit silly, like I think one is drink or eat ginger every day, and it was ginger tea, obviously. Another one was something to do with smelling or the aroma of tea, and it was a really nice jasmine tea. So, like I said, they're tea oriented, but they were still kind of fun, and some of them were pretty good. Things about taking care of yourself and relaxing and that kind of stuff. So, and they're just fun. It was something to fill up that back page. So I'm just gonna keep putting them down. I didn't want them all to be just lined up. I wanted to move them a little bit. So I just have to play with some of them. You can see I had them all stuck to the side of my Raskog. Every day after I had my tea, I pulled it off and I stuck it there because I knew I would eventually use them for something like this. So I'm just going to fuss around and get them stuck down. I was taking pictures every day and putting them on Instagram, and then I didn't do it one day, and it kind of throws you off when you get out of the habit. So I think I only made it maybe 3 or 4 days. But I am still enjoying the teas. They're very yummy. And I had pulled these other tags out too, but they're just not going to fit anywhere. So they can go back in the pile. And this one's just a little bit too long, so I'm going to trim off the edges and try and fit that back in. And after I go through all of this and I fill up my shaker pocket and I seal it, I realize I actually forgot one. So on the pictures at the end, you're going to see that there's one on the outside pocket, and I'm not really sure if I want to open up the pocket, put it in, and then reseal it, or if I'm just going to leave it on the outside or forget about it altogether. I don't know. But here what I'm doing is taking some of those gold heart sequins that I have, and I'm just going to glue them around, because of course when you have a shaker pocket most of it falls to the bottom, but it's nice to have some of those sequins up at the top that stay in place. And I'm going to put some around the word focus, and a little bit of Heidi Swap Color Shine Gold. And that's it. I'll let that dry. And now I'm just going to pick out all of the sequins that I like. So I have, again, these gold hearts. And I got those just at a craft store. And then these are some random stars and flowers. bits and pieces that I got from Studio Calico and from Pocket Letters. Whoops, my son knocked the tripod. And I'm just trying to follow a rainbow, but also stick to sort of the hues that were in that focus watercolor. So I'm pulling out all of my little sequins packets that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to put a little sprinkling of each color. And then in they go to the pocket. And there we go. So once that was dried, I popped it into the pocket and I just sealed it with my fuse. And now I'm working on a card that's going to go right underneath it. And I decided I would do a little bit of sewing. So I drew 2017 in pencil, and then I went around it and poked all of the holes, and now I'm just using a little bit of gold thread from Stampin' Up! To sew the numbers. So I won't show you the whole thing because it took me probably about 20 minutes to sew everything. I was just watching some TV and chatting with my kids and sewing away. Now I'm not a sewer, so I just sort of was making it up as I go along. I know a lot of people do a back stitch, but I found what was easiest for me was just to go in and out all the way around, and then once I got back to the beginning to do the same thing in all of my open spaces. There might actually be a term for that, but I don't know. So there you go. So it says 2017. I did a little bit of sort of random stitching through the 0 just to give it a little character. It's pretty subtle, but it's kind of nice to have some texture there. And then this is the front. So the top says live happy, and then it says living in the moment, and then that bottom green one says it's a wonderful life, I think. Then on that one card that I was showing, I'm just going to write some of our family goals, and that will do it for my title page. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know. Talk to you later, everyone. Happy scrapping. Bye.